Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and boy, today in the group, you're not going to want to miss this one. I talked the other day about some of the Ripple, Satoshi ties. Well, we're going to go head first into the world's a stage file. If you want to see something, some of these things are pretty shocking that I'll show you. So if you want to join, go to daixrp.com. If you want to join through the Patreon, or you can click join below any of my YouTube videos. You're going to want to see this. Now, today's Saturday, and on Saturday we have fun. You're looking at the Gulf of America. Let's zoom in. My guys at Gulf of America, XRP.com, they're out of Panama City Beach. But I wanted to zoom in a little further. These guys, just so you know, these guys cover all of this area in Florida, but they can also refer you to other people in Florida. I want to zoom you in. Here's Panama City. If you zoom in here, before you get to Destin, there's a little place. Many of you have heard of Rosemary Beach, Seacrest. But there's a little place that I grew up going to right in here. Many of you have heard of Caroline Beach, really nice. It's called Pinnacle Port. Yesterday, every Friday from the guys at Gulf of America, XRP.com, I receive an email that has properties that are available, oceanfront properties and otherwise that are available on the Gulf of America down there. And this is one of the properties I got in the email yesterday. It comes out every Friday. And I look at these because I'm like you, when the time comes to sell some XRP and cash out or whatever, I'll be looking at things like real estate. So I like to be able to get these emails so that when the time comes, I can call these guys. Well, this is one called Pinnacle Port. It's an older condo complex, but I grew up going down here, and so I just wanted to show it to you. It's one of the more. It's like you got a really cool the way it's situated. I want to show you that there's a bay on one side. This is Pinnacle Port, but they also have these smaller condos that go with it, these smaller units. This is the main building. It was built back in, I think, the 70s. They actually made a movie. I can't remember what the movie was called, but it was about a tidal wave hitting Florida. But anyway, when I was growing up, I spent a lot of my time on this dock right here fishing and crabbing. But I just wanted to show you some of these. This is in Florida, you can get a condo, I think probably in the 300s up to the millions, but there's a lot of things you could buy for investment purposes as well as just to go there for yourself. This is inside one of these units. These are a little bit older, but they're most of them are renovated. They're really nice now. But you're looking right out at the ocean. Let me see if I can get to one of the ones that shows you more of how this place is situated. So there's the bay. I spent a lot of time on those docks growing up. For sentimental reasons, I could even look into getting a condo at Pinnacle Port at some point. There's I wanted to show you where the pools are. There's the beaches, nicest beaches in the world. They've got two pools. One of them is right there in the main building, and then there's another one further off over right there. You can kind of see it. But anyway, cool thing. Anyway, if you want to get these, sign up for their email, and they also have their phone number if you're interested in seeing properties now. Go to gulfofamericaxrp.com and you can check it out. Look at this from Austin King. Look at this chart. Stablecoin competitive landscape. Regulation, RLUSD NYDFS approved. USDC NYDFS approved. USDT Tether offshore. RLUSD audited monthly, USDC attested monthly. No full audits for USDT. It's pretty clear, isn't it? Now, this is the guy from Ondo, one of the guys from Ondo Finance, who is a Ripple partner. Interesting clip here.
We announced a transaction where an investor used tokenized bank deposits from JP Morgan to subscribe to the tokenized treasuries that we offer on public blockchains. These tokenized treasuries provide investors with the ability to transfer value 24/7 globally, peer-to-peer, while earning yield on their savings. And we provide 24/7 conversions between stablecoins and tokenized treasuries. So this is a product that has appealed largely to crypto natives and to investors that come from stablecoins and want access to treasuries. But until now, the product has really been largely inaccessible, or its benefits have been inaccessible to investors that don't come from the crypto world, that don't already have stablecoins. So, for example, folks who have bank deposits at JP Morgan. And so, once this rolls out to production, it opens up the ability for deposit holders at JP Morgan who might not already be holding stablecoins or have crypto wallets to very easily 24/7, over the weekend, instantly subscribe to our tokenized treasuries or, tokenized products from us or up.
Folks, what you're listening to is crypto is about to grow up. Real world asset market has surged over 260% in 2025, reaching 23 billion, driven by U.S. crypto regulations. Real world asset adoption is accelerating. A part of crypto growing up is going to be two things that I already get at Caleb and Brown. One is institutional custody. When all these real world assets are tokenized, you'll have the option, but you're not going to see a lot of people trying to hold millions of dollars of net worth on hard wallets on their phone. It's not going to, it could happen there could always be a small percentage of the people that do that, but that's not the way the people that are about to flood into this economy. They're going to be doing it the same way that they've always done it. They're going to have banks and financial institutions that have institutional grade custody, and you'll be able to house all of your real world assets and your XRP and everything else, and it'll be with institutional custody. It's not a coincidence that Ripple got into the custody business. If you want to open a Caleb and Brown account and have a person you can actually talk to, and liquidity and institutional custody, go to xrpwealth589.com. Caleb and Brown's doing that with me right now. They're my affiliate partner. It'll forward you right to this link. You can click sign up today. The markets have recovered a little bit, but it's still not very exciting. Now, this is Ray Fuentes. I wanted to play this. Phil Spinoza, and I don't think I butchered his last name, but Phil Spinoza was at XRP Las Vegas. My wife and I got to talk to him a lot backstage. He was the MC there at XRP Las Vegas, and he says in this interview that he's going to be that again. But what I wanted to play you was the clip where he talks about his conversation with Brad Garlinghouse backstage.
XRP is going to redefine how we conceptualize market cap in regards to price evaluation. And I wanted to get Brad Garlinghouse's opinion on that. So I asked him, I basically said, Brad, let me throw something at you if you don't mind. I believe XRP can fundamentally change the way we conceptualize market cap. How do you feel about that? He challenged me to peel that back a little bit, and then he really compared XRP to oil. Oil really doesn't have a market cap. It's all supply and demand, and we both agreed that XRP will be more similar to oil as a commodity as opposed to a stock in that regard. And I thought that was pretty cool to hear from him. In my opinion, that basically means XRP to the moon. Let's go. And then a fun question, something I always wondered about. We know he's on X, and there's a lot of...
I think he's lurking all the time.
He's lurking. And we had the 589 followers for a while, so I obviously see some of the speculation. And I asked him, I said, Brad, do you see a lot of the speculation on X? Do you see us connecting dots all over the place? And if so, what are your thoughts towards that? And he started laughing immediately and brought in the 589 followers. And he said, yes, I see it. He says, I'd like to comment on it, but obviously can't. And he said, some of it, you guys are pretty close to the target, and some of it is just completely wild. Where does that come from? He mentioned the hidden road address. He just started laughing about that. It was incredible.
Okay, so that's not the first time that Brad Garlinghouse has compared to XRP to oil. Watch this. And what have I told you for all these years? XRP was created to prevent World War III and replace the petrodollar.
He really kind of introduced this idea of this internet of value and how if for that to exist, you need certain oil in that engine to grease the system so that it can work. And XRP, the digital asset that Ripple has kind of standardized on, if you will, extremely fast, extremely low cost, and it could be an interesting use case for that. So, I think there's going to be lots of cryptos that win. You and I have talked about that before. Yeah. I think there'll be different use cases and different protocols and different technologies that will win. But his vision and kind of what he talked about and bridging the kind of traditional financial world with this next generation, at the time we weren't calling it Web3.
Okay, you get the picture. He compared it to oil in that clip. Now look at this Circle. A business that earns net interest margin is now trading at 146 times 2024 earnings. The only way to interpret this information is public markets are incredibly bullish on the growth of stable coins. Yes, sir. Now, Cynthia Loomis is saying that the Genius Act is going to pass this week.
We will start voting on the Genius Act, the stablecoin bill, this week. I don't think we're going to complete it this week. We'll probably have to go into next week because a number of amendments will be filed. But we have worked long and hard to bring Democrats to the place where they...
Okay, should be interesting. Then this is interesting too. President Trump says the Federal Reserve is a disaster and calls for a 100 basis point interest rate cut. And then this was going around, President Trump to announce next Fed chair very soon to replace Jerome Powell. And that's interesting too. And then we have Congressman Thomas Massey's introduced the Gold Reserve Transparency Act of 2025 to audit the U.S. gold reserves. All this is happening simultaneously for a reason, folks. And then we got this, look at this. Apple, X, Airbnb, Google are reportedly in early talks to integrate stablecoins, signaling big tech's growing move into crypto payments amid shifting U.S. policy. Once the Genius Act passed, you're going to see a flood of liquidity into this system. And Smoke points out something that we used to cover this back in the day. Google, Airbnb, Uber were all part of Ripple's original product vision for the unified global payments interface. As you can see in the document below, that blueprint runs through Ripple's network, with XRP serving as the liquidity layer. The image shows Ripple connecting tech giants Google, Uber, Airbnb to traditional payment rails such as ACH, Visa, PayPal, Alipay, all integrated through XRP's liquidity bridge. While these companies are only now beginning to launch their own stablecoins, Ripple had already built the infrastructure for them to seamlessly plug into. There it is right there. This is a slide from Ripple when they used to do presentations. Okay, I got a lot more, and I'm gonna show you some more of those Ripple Satoshi ties that I think you'll find them fascinating. This stuff becomes pretty obvious. And it is the All the World's a Stage file. Okay, we're going to go into the group. Go to daixrp.com to join through the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click the join button below any of my YouTube videos. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.